like to start with just a couple of player checks. Harrison Biggins, has he been back to trainings this week?
Yeah, he's fine. He's trained all week, which is pleasing. So, just again, like everyone you've seen from last week's game, are all fit and available with Harrison back training as well, which is pleasing.
In terms of people like Wood and Ironside that I know you'd mentioned have been managing a few things, is it a case of just patching them up between now and the end of the season, or have they managed to get over some of the issues that they had?
No, we just manage what they do in sessions, but that's what I mean. They don't miss any training or anything like that. They've been consistently out there and available for us, which is pleasing, and we want to keep them like that. So we got to be careful what we do with some people in terms of the loading. And that's what I mean with like Woody and people like that, So just ticking them over game by game, really, because they've both been really important for us.
Did you go to the Crawley Barrow game in the week?
No, I didn't. No, I went to watch Colchester. But yeah, we had most of our staff out at games. One of them, somebody covered the Crawley game, one of our analysts, which is good, and we got a lot of games covered on Tuesday night. Gives us a good opportunity when we don't have a game, is to go out and cover up quite a lot of games and different things for us, whether it's recruitment or teams that we're possibly going to be coming up against over the next 2 or 3 games.
About as good an outcome as you could possibly have hoped with the draw, which now of course puts a playoff place in your own hands.
Honestly, Andy, I'm not really too concerned yet about what other people do. That don't mean that in a rude way. We've not spoke about it. We've continually worked in terms of how we want to go about it. That's obviously, that will be your job, and the press and the media to talk about things like that. That's not for me to speak about. I can only focus on one team. I can't control what happens elsewhere. I can certainly help control what happens at our football club. So that's just been our only motive, really, for the last 15 games, I would say, probably from the turn of the year. Once the window shut in January, we've just kept our head down and focused on what we do. It's been pleasing, obviously, with the squad that managed to stay robust in that period as well, which is all we can do. We can only focus on what we can do and what we can control, and that's obviously the next game on Saturday against Barrow.
And to go from third bottom on the 9th of February to a point outside the playoffs, and now you know that if you win your last 3 games you will be in the playoffs, that is quite a remarkable rise, isn't it? Is there any change in mentality now?
No, it's the next game. The mentality is the next game. If we start looking like that, we won't make the playoffs. It's as simple as that. We are focused on the next game. The next game is Barrow. That's it, and having a good end of the season. So let's see if we can, put another good performance on Saturday. The fans are coming out by all means, and I've been told the tickets are selling very fast, which is brilliant, because there's no better place to play than at our stadium when the fans are there and loud and behind us. So I'm really pleased with that. So our focus this week has just been really preparing for Barrow. Obviously a little bit of work for the staff and long hours on Tuesday. I think I had about an 18-19 hour day on Tuesday, but it's worth it, for us to get out and to learn more and see different oppositions and players possibly for the future, which is really good for us.
With the situation as it is, Grant, and the run that you're on with 8 wins in a row, is there a fine balance at the minute between kind of revving it up from a fan's perspective and getting everybody excited about what you can achieve, whilst also obviously keeping you cool and keeping everybody focused?
No, we're not revving anything up. We want our fans to come and support us, whether we're playing whoever we're playing against, and that's been the case all season. It hasn't suddenly just changed because we've won a few games. We want our fans to be there, through the good times, through the bad times, and predominantly they have. But what I do know in football is the more you win, the more people want to come and see you, and they want to be part of a successful team. So that's brilliant for us as well. It's a byproduct of everything. I think the football club is in a better place when the team's winning and in good form, and the fans want to become, come and be entertained, and that's all we want to do. We want to win games for our fans. That's it, and we know the more times we can do that, the fans will want to come back, and they'll want to bring their mate and their uncle and so on to come and watch, and that's exactly what we're trying to do here. It's not about geeing everybody up and putting everybody on edge. It's not. It's actually quite the opposite for us. We're actually staying very focused and calm and in the background really, and because we know if we can do that and we can put another good performance on, then we can give ourselves the best chance to win.
Is there a bit of a different feel though around the place, because clearly where you were just 2 months ago compared to now is poles apart? Have you noticed the difference around the place?
I got asked this question, I think it might have been last week, and if you'd have been at our training ground when we weren't in such good form and you came here now, I don't think you'd see much of a difference. I really don't, and that's how we've tried to keep it. Although look, once you're winning games, you can feel a different atmosphere at the stadium when you turn up at stadium and stuff like that, and the fans are, they feel like that we can hopefully give them a good performance. But for us, we can't be like that. We can't be up and down. We want to try and stay on that level keel where we trust in terms of how we want to work. We trust the players to go and deliver that. When they're playing with good confidence and a smile on their face, they can certainly churn out results like we've seen. So that's just, I would say it's changed a little bit at the stadium. I would say that there seems to be a lot of belief and fans are right behind us, which is ultimately brilliant for us, and that's what we want. But our only focus really is the next game, and I understand coming into this press conference today there's going to be talk about this and that, and there's a mood change, and the next 3 games we can't think like that. I understand you have to ask them questions, but for me it's really about the next game. It's Barrow. I know it's boring, but it's the next one for us.
In terms of the team, I imagine everyone will have a role to play, but particularly at this stage of the season, how important are your experienced lads, the older heads, Tommy Rowe, Richard Wood, Tom Anderson, other people like that have kind of been in these situations, that have been there, and that can be your eyes and ears on the pitch?
Yeah, they're huge for us, and that's why I created a leadership group at the start of the season. When I come in here, I speak to them quite a bit, and I speak to them a lot on different subjects, what may pop up in the week or weeks ahead, or travel, or whatever it may be. We lend an ear to them and see how they feel, and vice versa. We're there for them, so they can filter back into the group, and that's how we create a good chemistry and a good place to work really. So they've been big for us all season, not just over the last few weeks. All season they've been huge. They've been there, they've done it, they've seen it. Woody, Tom, Rowie, Joe Ironside, Rowie, Harrison Biggins is getting 27, 28 now, Closey, Westbrook. So yeah, they're all big characters around the change room, and they're invaluable really for some of the younger players.
Some thoughts on Barrow? Clearly they've got a little run of form at the minute that they wouldn't have wanted at this stage of the year, but what are you expecting from them this weekend?
I think Pete's done a fantastic job to have them where they are. For me, he should have been up there with the Manager of the Year award really, and in the running for it. I don't know if he was or not, but he certainly should be. To have them in that position all season really is a testament to him, and we've seen how organised they were and how well coached and structured they were when we played them at Barrow, and we were poor on the day. We just didn't get going, although we had a few chances early on in it. But that game doesn't mean anything now, but it's certainly when I think back to then, and I think how I seen Barrow that day, I was impressed, and then I've been impressed with them since the season's gone on, and you're never going to go through the season without a blip. They might have had a little blip, but I know they'll still fancy themselves strongly. So very strong defensive team. Sit, wait, pounce on you quickly if you're losing possession. Good on transitions. Got threats in their team. Defensively strong, hard to break down. So we know what we're coming up against. So we've worked very hard this week in terms of areas where we feel we can hurt them, areas where we think we can cause them a problem or two, and hopefully we can do that.
As an occasion, we hope it's not your final home game of the season. Of course, it could be. Big crowd, you've already referenced that. The fact that Barrow are one of the teams that you're looking to chase. Does this game have all the ingredients of something that could be a real special day?
Yeah, I think it'll be a game of. We'll have to be patient at times. I feel in the game. I think we're going to have to be wait for our moments to hurt them at times in the game because of how they play and how they set their team up. But what I do know is, with our fans behind us and supporting us and pushing us on, I think the players will go all the way and give them everything like they have done. So I'm really looking forward to it. You know, it's a next one for us. Next one we hopefully can win, but we understand it's going to be very tough.